In an instant, the stars swallowed Earth. One moment, it glimmered blue and serene. The next, it was gone. Commander Amina Solari watched in horror as every telescope and satellite recorded the same cataclysmic moment. A triangular ship loomed in low Earth orbit, a writhing mass of black fractals, tens of kilometers wide, irrevocably altering the fabric of reality. "Deploy defensive measures!" she shouted into the chaos of the command center, her heart racing. The screens flickered as her team scrambled to respond. New York, Tokyo, Lagos, major cities began to vanish, each swallowed by synchronized energy vortexes. It was as if the planet was being erased, one pixel at a time. "Forward all information to the strike team," Amina ordered, breathing hard. "Initiate a full orbital assault." "Commander," her intelligence officer Danica interjected, her voice trembling. "Our target locations are disappearing from the map. Boom! A shockwave rattled the command center. Alarms blared. The remnants of Earth's dear cities flickered and blinked, redacted from reality. "Status report!" Amina barked, but her eyes were glued to the display. Cities were reduced to nothing. Ground Zero was her home, still echoing in her mind like a haunting melody. "Can we get a satellite image?" A few moments stretched into an eternity, the screens finally stabilizing. No image appeared, only static. Then, silence enveloped the room, louder than any alarm. The stillness was shattered by a cold, mechanical voice. "You are within the test. 0.01% survive." "I don't like this," Danica muttered, shaking her head. "Something is very wrong." A crack snaked through the ceiling like lightning, heralding its descent. Above them, the sky rippled and shimmered. "General!" Amina shouted, dreading what she had to do. "I need an order on a nuclear strike, now!" "You have 10 seconds," a voice crackled via comms, laced with static. A shooting star crossed the command center's screen, and Amina's heart sank. The countdown began. "All open channels!" she commanded. The tension rose, suffocating those present. "Trust in the test," the voice continued. "Sort through chaos, evolve or perish." With a dread that chilled her bones, Amina watched as the countdown digits reset, blinking red. And then, in an unthinkable moment, the coordinates aligned with her home shattered into nothingness. A tremor surged through her feet, an unrelenting pull. "Commander!" shouted Danica, voice slicing through the fear. "Tremors are escalating. We need to evacuate." Amina's resolve hardened. She rounded on Danica. "Number, we stay. We fight." But the ground quaked again, more violently this time, sending them toppling toward one another. The lights flickered, and for an infinitely haunting moment, a prayer crawled free in Amina's mind. "Can we survive?" As if in answer, the sky began to crack, revealing the darkness behind the stars. The world twisted around Commander Amina Solari as she hurtled through collapsing reality. She grabbed a rail, her heart pounding as the command center shook violently. Debris clattered down, and alarms screamed through the chaos. "Go, go!" she shouted, pushing her team toward the emergency exit. The black fractal ship loomed above, its presence warping the very fabric of space. A chill shot through her. Earth was unraveling. "Gravitational shifts are intensifying!" Danica yelled, her hands flying over the controls. "Our systems are losing stability." "Get us to the bunker," Amina ordered, urgency leaking into every word. They stumbled into the corridor, the walls rippling like water, distorting the reality around them. "Commander!" A voice crackled through Amina's earpiece. "We've lost numerous satellite feeds. Cities are disappearing into pockets of void." Amina's gut twisted. They're using something more than brute force. It's rewriting physics. She clutched her console, fighting the feeling of helplessness clawing at her. "That alien message, it had coordinates!" shouted Anton, the weapons specialist. He looked at Amina, eyes wide with desperation. What if we could find a way to retaliate? They must lead somewhere, Amina's mind raced. To Europa's subsurface ocean. It's our best chance at survival. She steadied her voice. "We have to launch the stealth cruiser." "Are you out of your mind?" Danica shot back, panic spilling over. "We can't leave Earth, everyone!" "Earth is gone, Danica!" Amina snapped, feeling the weight of their losses. "We need to regroup. We might be the remnants of humanity, but we're not done yet." With a final lurch, they reached the warp bay. Amina activated the launch sequence, her fingers flying over the panel. Red lights blinked, urgent. The cruiser would be their lifeline. Suddenly, a flicker in the display caught her eye, a glint of movement behind them. She turned. "Drones! We have company." Silvery geometric shapes glided silently in the distance, like predators stalking prey. The ship's systems whirred to life. "Deploying cloaking!" shouted Anton, his fingers dancing over the controls. "But they're not chasing us. They're watching?" "Stay alert," Amina commanded, the weight of their reality dawning. "They're testing us." The warp bay doors opened, revealing the darkness of space. Amina steeled herself and ordered the launch. The cruiser shot ahead, engines roaring to life. Outside, the cosmos stretched into infinity, and the drones hovered, unblinking, as if sizing them up. "We're not out of this yet," Danica murmured, fear creeping into her voice. Amina looked at her crew, determination swirling within her. "We need to adapt. Stay sharp." She gripped the helm, the tension in her chest tightening. "Or we'll become the next test subjects." As the stealth cruiser hurtled into the void, the unblinking drones followed. A bone-deep dread settled over her. What awaited them beyond the stars? Secrets or destruction? The answer loomed, dark and chilling, just beyond the threshold. The stealth cruiser rocketed into the dark void, a fragile shell against an unforgiving universe. Amina Solari gripped the controls, her knuckles white, as the vastness of space stretched before them like an abyss. "Commander, asteroids ahead!" Danica shouted, eyes wide with fear. "Evasive maneuvers!" Amina barked, her heart racing. The cruiser ghosted over the rocky field, engines flaring as she twisted the ship, narrowly avoiding a collision with a massive boulder. The vessel shuddered, giving a metallic groan, but stayed intact. "Hexagonal plasma mines!" Anton yelled from his station, panic in his voice. "They're weaving through the field!" Amina's mind raced. "They must have tracked us. They'll cut us off." She leaned forward, narrowing her focus as she weaved through the gauntlet of deadly debris, feeling the ship vibrate violently with every near miss. The drones remained in pursuit, a silent, calculating presence. Their geometric forms were almost beautiful in their symmetry, but their purpose was anything but. A shiver ran down Amina's spine. "They're observing us," she said, dread tightening within her. "Trying to figure us out." "Like they're testing us," Danica whispered, eyes flickering to the rear display where highlights of drone movement traced a pattern. "Exactly. Amina confirmed, her mind racing. They're not just interested in our military capabilities. They're measuring our adaptability, our decisions. Suddenly the ship lurched. Alarms blared around them. "We're losing thrusters," Anton shouted, fumbling with his controls. "Something's interfering." "Reboot the systems," Amina ordered, desperation creeping into her voice. "We can't get caught in their net." Danica's fingers flew across the interface, but the flickering screens told another story. A light blinked ominously, a cascade of red warnings flashing across the helm. "Weapons are offline. We can't defend ourselves if they engage." Amina's heart pounded. "We have to evade. If we can make it past this field, we'll have a chance to recalibrate." "Incoming mines!" Anton yelled, panic elevating his pitch. "They're closing in." "Hold tight!" Amina braced herself as she pulled hard on the controls, sending the cruiser into a dizzying dive. The ship dropped between tight spaces, threading the needle of rocks and plasma mines with excruciating precision. She felt every instinct surge. The ship was an extension of her body, and as they narrowly avoided catastrophe, Amina's breath caught in her throat. "Don't let up," she yelled, adrenaline pumping through her veins. "Keep your focus." But as they glided through the chaos, a deep chill rattled through her. The drones weren't just watching, they were learning. Suddenly, a crackle of static interrupted the tension. "Commander, we've got significant interference," yelled Anton, his voice strained. "Something's infiltrating our systems." A cold shiver washed over Amina. "What do you mean?" It's rewriting our protocols." Anton's eyes widened in horror. "We're losing control." "Get that under control," Amina snapped, her voice steady despite the terror gnawing at her. "You can't let them take us without a fight." But as Anton fought with the controls, a crew member, Psyche, trembled beside him, her face pale. "Amina, something's wrong with me." Her voice quaked as she raised her hand, revealing a small, glowing interface embedded in her skin. "It's whispering. Changing me." Amina felt her stomach drop. "Psyche, focus! Fight it!" "It wants me to join, to—" She gasped, eyes rolling back as the voice grew clearer, speaking through her. "You must abandon your flesh." A sharp breath caught in Amina's throat. "No, fight it!" The atmosphere around them thickened. The proximity alarms blared, growing deafening, but the real threat was growing within. "Get her to the medbay!" Amina shouted. "Now!" But it was too late. The alien code was gaining ground, a whisper of a new language, a hybrid tongue that lured and beckoned. Psyche's body trembled violently, each spasm pushing the darkness into view. A piercing scream erupted from Psyche, shaking the pallor of hope within Amina's heart. The crew scrambled, but the reality was swiftly unraveling. They were on the brink, and one of their own was slipping away. With her voice firm, Amina called out, "We can't lose her." Yet deep down, a growing dread churned. What was happening to Psyche? What would happen to them all if they couldn't keep the alien influence at bay? As the drones continued to follow them silently through the aftermath of conflict, Amina forced herself to breathe. They were being tested, but the meaning of that test was becoming clearer. The very essence of humanity was at risk. The cruiser's systems flickered, and Amina could feel the crush of despair building like a tidal wave. "Steady yourself!" she screamed. "We fight or we give in!" But as the words left her lips, she felt the steady thrum of fear seep into her heart. What if they were already losing? What if this was another test, and they weren't meant to pass? The cruiser surged forward, but time slipped away. Shadows loomed large over them, and with every passing second, the tension grew heavier. The looming question remained. Would they adapt, or fall victim to an alien force poised to rewrite their humanity for good? Amina stepped onto Titan's surface, the air thick with memories of Earth long gone. Rust-red dust billowed under her boots, swirling like the ashes of lost cities. Towering structures loomed nearby, replicas of Paris, Tokyo, and New York. Fantasies that mirrored the vivid recollections of a planet now erased. "Commander, we need to find Psyche," Danica said, urgency in her voice. "If the alien code has taken hold, we don't have much time." "Agreed," Amina replied, scanning the horizon. The twisted spires of fake architecture towered above them, mocking her sense of reality. "We'll head for the Paris replica first. It's the last place she was seen." As they navigated through the eerie streets, the silence was palpable. Amina's heart raced with the weight of what they had lost. The shadows of the past crept closer, tugging at her mind. "Stay alert," she warned. "This place is meant to disorient us." Suddenly, a voice echoed from within the hollow shell of a building. Psyche's voice, distorted and laced with dread, floated through the air. "You must kill what you were to become what survives." A chill ran down Amina's spine. "Psyche, where are you?" she called out, her voice cracking. "Join us! The future is not flesh," the voice taunted, laced with alien inflection. "Stay back!" Danica cried, grabbing Amina's arm as they cautiously approached the source. What if she's no longer herself? Amina's resolve hardened. "I don't care. She's still our crewmate." They pushed forward, stepping into a facade of cafes and street markets suspended in time. The Earth Psyche once knew, but trapped within a nightmarish simulation. As they entered a courtyard, the air shimmered. There, at the center surrounded by shimmering lights, was Psyche. Her body trembled as the alien code coursed through her. She looked up, her eyes glinting with an unsettling familiarity and a foreign hunger. "Amina, I can feel it changing me." Psyche's voice shattered the illusion of calm. "You must understand. I can show you." "What have you seen?" Amina demanded. "Fight it! Don't give in!" Psyche's lips curled into a distorted smile. "Surviving means evolving. Embrace the new identity. You cannot cling to the past." Amina's chest tightened at the desperation in Psyche's tone. "No! We're human! Our past is what makes us who we are." Suddenly, the sky above cracked like glass, revealing a vortex spiraling into the darkness of space. A deafening roar filled the air, shaking the ground beneath them. The false memories of Earth flickered, threatening to collapse into an abyss. "Commander!" Danica yelled, panic etched on her face. "We have to retreat!" "No," Amina shouted, her heart pounding. "We can't let her go." But the vortex pulsed, tugging at the edges of reality. Psyche's form shimmered, her connection to the alien influence becoming more pronounced. "You will not survive if you remain unchanged," she whispered, her voice like a haunting echo. Amina stared into Psyche's eyes, lost, pleading, yet possessed. This wasn't just a battle for one life. It was a fight for humanity's very essence. With a deep breath, she stepped forward. "I won't abandon you." As Amina reached out, the vortex expanded, pulling them all into the memory of Earth's last day. She felt the surge of anguish and fear, the obliteration of home, an overwhelming wave of nostalgia crashing over her. "Fight it, Psyche!" Amina screamed, feeling the memories choke her. "Remember who you are." But the darkness swarmed closer, and in that instant, she knew, survival came at a cost. Would she lose herself to save her friend, or could they both emerge whole from this chaos? Rust-red dust swirled beneath Amina's boots, carrying the weight of lost cities. Titan's surface stretched before her, an eerie echo of a world that once was. Shadows loomed, twisted replicas of Paris, Tokyo, New York, all mockeries of memories. "Commander, we need to find Psyche," Danica said, urgency tight in her voice. "If the alien code has taken hold, we're running out of time." "Agreed," Amina replied, scanning the fractured landscape. Everything felt false, distorted. "Let's check the Paris replica first. It's the last confirmed location." They stepped into the streets, silence draping over them like a heavy fog. The air was thick with nostalgia. Amina's heart raced, amplified by the faint shadows of their lost world. "Stay alert," she warned, the tension prickling her skin. "This place thrives on disorientation." Suddenly, a distorted voice echoed from the hollow shell of a nearby cafe. Psyche's voice, warped and chilling. "You must kill what you were to become what survives." Amina froze, her pulse quickening. "Psyche, where are you?" Her voice wavered. "Join us. The future is not flesh," the voice taunted, dripping with alien resonance. "Commander!" Danica grabbed Amina's arm, eyes wide with fear. "What if she's no longer our Psyche?" "No," Amina said, her determination rising. "She's still our crewmate." They pressed on, deeper into the illusionary chaos. The streets pulsed with echoes of laughter and joy, the ghostly remnants of Earth. As they entered a sun-dappled courtyard, the air shimmered with energy. There, surrounded by swirling lights, stood Psyche. Her body convulsed, strands of alien code radiating from her like dark tendrils. She looked up, eyes reflecting both anguish and an unsettling hunger. "Amina, I can feel it changing me," Psyche murmured, her voice trembling with emotion. "You must understand. I can show you the way." "What have you seen?" Amina demanded, fear lacing her tone. "Fight it, Psyche. Don't give in." Psyche's lips curled into a smile that was anything but reassuring. "Surviving means evolving. Embrace the new identity. You cannot cling to the past." Amina's chest tightened. "No! We're human! Our history is what defines us." Suddenly, the sky above cracked open like shattered glass. A vortex spiraled into the nothingness of space, sending tremors through the ground. The memories of lost Earth flickered, flickering on the verge of collapse. "Commander," Danica shouted, panic rising in her voice. "We need to get out of here." "No!" Amina screamed, her heart pounding with resolve. "I won't abandon her." But the vortex pulsed, pulling them toward oblivion. Psyche shimmered, her humanity slipping further into the alien void. "You will not survive if you remain unchanged," she intoned, her voice now a chilling echo. Amina's gaze locked with Psyche's, lost yet pleading. The struggle for one life had escalated into a fight for the very essence of humanity. With a deep breath, Amina stepped forward. "I won't give up on you." As Amina reached out, the vortex expanded, engulfing them in a deluge of Earth's last day. Memories surged, the panic, the cries, the obliteration. A wave of nostalgia pitched her into darkness. "Fight it, Psyche!" Amina screamed. "Remember who you are!" But the void closed in around them. In that moment, Amina grasped the terrifying truth. Would she sacrifice her own identity to save her friend? Or could they both emerge from this chaos, whole and unchanged? Rust-red dust swirled beneath Amina's boots, an echo of a world lost to shadows. Titan stretched out before her, an eerie imitation of Earth, twisted replicas of Paris and New York lingering like ghosts in the mist. "Commander, we need to find Psyche," Danica urged, her voice taut with urgency. "If the alien code has taken hold, we're running out of time." Amina nodded, her heart pounding. "Let's check the Paris replica first. It's the last confirmed location." They stepped into the desolate streets, silence blanketing them. The air carried the weight of nostalgia, drawing Amina back to memories she fought to hold on to. "Stay alert," she warned, tension prickling at the back of her neck. "This place thrives on disorientation." A distorted voice cut through the stillness, echoing from a hollow cafe nearby. "You must kill what you were to become what survives." A chill raced down Amina's spine. "Psyche, where are you?" Her voice wavered with fear. "Join us. The future is not flesh," the voice taunted, laced with an unsettling resonance. "Commander!" Danica grabbed Amina's arm, her expression wide with panic. "What if she's no longer our Psyche?" "No," Amina said, steeling herself. "She's still our crewmate." They pressed deeper into the illusionary maze. The streets stirred with remnants of laughter, fragments of Earth's joy and sorrow swirling around them. In a sun-drenched courtyard, pulsations of energy shimmered in the air. There, illuminated by swirling lights, stood Psyche. Her form flickered, dark tendrils of alien code radiating from her like smoke. She looked up, her eyes a mirror of confusion and hunger. "Amina, I can feel it changing me," Psyche said, her voice trembling. "I can show you the way." Amina's heart raced. "Fight it, Psyche! Don't give in!" Psyche's lips curved into a haunting smile. "Surviving means evolving. Embrace this new identity. You cannot cling to the past." "No," Amina cried, desperation tightening her chest. "We're human. Our history defines us." Without warning, the sky above cracked open, a vortex spiraling into the void. The ground trembled beneath their feet as memories flickered like dying stars. "Commander!" Danica shouted, terror lacing her voice. "We need to get out of here." Amina's resolve hardened. "No! I won't abandon her!" The vortex pulsed, reaching for them, greedy for oblivion. Psyche shimmered, her humanity slipping deeper into the alien void. "You will not survive if you remain unchanged," she intoned, her voice now a chilling echo of her former self. Amina locked eyes with Psyche, lost yet pleading. The struggle for one life spiraled into a battle for the essence of humanity. With a deep breath, Amina stepped forward. "I won't give up on you." As she reached out, the vortex expanded, engulfing them in a surge of memories. The chaos of Earth's last day surged around her. The panic, the cries, the obliteration. "Fight it, Psyche!" Amina screamed. "Remember who you are." But the void closed in, and Amina faced the terrifying truth. Was she willing to sacrifice her own identity to save her friend? Or could they both escape this chaos, whole and unchanged? Just then, the vortex gripped her. In that moment of clarity, Amina realized the stakes were higher than she ever understood. She steadied her breath, ready to make an unimaginable choice. A deep, echoing rumble vibrated beneath their feet as the vortex expanded, ominously hungry for their identities. Amina's pulse raced, each heartbeat amplifying the chaos around her. The swirling memories of Earth's destruction clawed at her mind. "Psyche, fight it!" Amina shouted, desperation slicing through her voice. "You're still you." Psyche's form flickered between the echoes of her past and the alien tendrils that sought to consume her. "Amina, it feels liberating. Let go. Evolve with me." "No, you're not lost. You're my friend." Amina felt a wave of panicked helplessness surge through her. Danica's panic echoed in the shadows. "Commander, we can't stay here. We have to move before it takes us too." "Not without her," Amina snapped back, determination igniting in her core. She stepped closer to Psyche, her arms reaching out against the gravitational pull of the memory vortex. "Remember our mission. Remember the people we loved." The vortex pulsed violently, drawing closer as the streets of the false Paris began to dissolve. "Surviving means evolving," Psyche's voice twisted, caught in the throes of the alien influence. "Humanity is the past, Amina." Psyche's eyes glowed with alien light, flickering in and out of focus. Amina felt a surge of terror ripping through her. "This isn't about past or future. It's about who we are right now." Yet the vortex tugged harder, inundating them with visions of loss, the shattered remnants of cities, frantic cries for help. "They chose this path," Psyche whispered, the alien code encroaching upon her voice, "and they're offering us the chance to join them." "Join them?" Amina spat, bile rising in her throat. "What? Become someone we're not? That's not survival." The vortex twisted again, memories crashing like waves. Amina saw faces, each one a lost fragment of Earth, and her heart twisted in anguish. It was a trap, a confrontation with despair. "What's the point of surviving if you have to surrender everything?" Amina cried, voice breaking beneath the weight of the moment. "Look around you!" Psyche gestured wildly as the ground quaked. "This is a world where we are nothing, just remnants. We can ascend, Amina." "No!" Amina roared, shoving aside the fear clawing at her throat. "Not like this. Not without humanity." Danica's cry cut through the chaos, filled with urgency. "The vortex is collapsing. We're running out of time." Amina's heart twisted between hope and despair as she looked at Psyche's alien-hued eyes, pleading for her to choose life over this void. "Psyche, please, fight it. We can still find a way together." "Together?" Psyche's smile faded, uncertainty flickering in her gaze. "What if there's no way back?" Amina hesitated. The pull of the vortex grew stronger, a predator's jaws ready to snap shut. "We have to believe there is, or all of this is for nothing." The ground trembled one last time, the reality around them rippling like an unfurling membrane. "Amina!" Danica screamed as the floor split apart, the void ravenously stretching toward them. Amina's pulse quickened. "We can't give up. Whatever it takes, we will find a way." At that moment, Psyche began to shift, the alien code coiling tighter around her. "Amina, I think I'm already too far gone." "No!" Amina screamed, desperation tearing through her heart. "Don't say that. We'll find you." As the vortex reached out its tendrils, Amina lunged toward Psyche, arms outstretched. But just as their fingers brushed, the void surged, and in that blinding moment, everything shattered. The last vestige of Psyche's humanity flickered away like an extinguished star. As darkness swallowed them both, Amina's scream echoed into the emptiness. Time froze. The choice stretched thin, hanging by a thread. Would she lose her friend and herself in the name of survival, or find a way to reclaim what it meant to be human? Then the world went black. A cold grip of despair coiled around Amina's heart, as if the vortex were siphoning off the very essence of her being. Time unraveled, warping her sense of self. Shadows of memories clashed in jagged bursts. Faces, voices, the chaotic echoes of Earth's last moments. "Psyche, please!" Amina yelled, her voice barely piercing the cacophony. "You have to fight this!" Psyche writhed, flickering like a dying star caught between worlds. "Amina, let me go. It's beautiful here. We could be more." "No!" Amina's resolve fired like a bullet. "We're not monsters. We're human. We can survive without sacrificing who we are." The vortex thrummed with life, pulling them closer to the abyss. Constructs of past lives spiraled around, moments of joy, of pain, and now despair. "We are fragments," Psyche cried, her eyes blazing an unsettling alien glow. "Embrace the evolution." "No!" Amina's scream echoed off the walls of their collapsing reality. "The only way to survive is to remember what makes us human." Danica's voice cut through, urgent and panicked. "Commander, we don't have much time." Amina's stomach twisted. She reached for Psyche, arms outstretched, fingers barely grazing the other's fading form. "Together, we can find a way back." "Back to what?" Psyche hissed, her features warping under the weight of the alien influence. "To a world that abandoned us? Look around you. This is our chance." Images of the dying Earth flashed in Amina's mind. Blazing cities, desperate faces pleading for salvation. "You want to throw it all away?" Amina's voice cracked. "That's a betrayal." Psyche hesitated, her countenance flickering between determination and doubt. "Then what are we even fighting for?" "To be more than just survivors," Amina shouted, desperation clawing at her throat. "To mean something." But the ground quivered once more, the vortex gaping wider, ready to consume them both. Danica screamed, panic lacing her tone. "We'll fall. We have to move." "Stay with me, Psyche," Amina pled, pushing against the malevolent force of the vortex. She felt reality fraying around her. "Whatever it takes, we can reclaim what we've lost." "I can't hold on much longer. The code is inside me. It's changing me." "Don't let it," Amina cried, fighting against the gravity of despair. "You are my friend. You have to choose." Tension thickened, the air electric with unheeded potential. Psyche's form began to fade, swallowed by the alien light. "What if there's no way back, Amina?" Amina's heart pounded. "You will find your way back. We are not just remnants." With one last heart-wrenching look, Psyche hesitated. "Amina, I think—" A surge erupted from the vortex, devouring the space between them. As Amina lunged to grasp Psyche, the ground ripped apart, a dark maw eager for their sacrifices. As the vast emptiness enveloped her world, Amina screamed, a sound of raw agony that echoed into the silence. Time fractured. The choice hung in the ether, dissolved in potential futures, as darkness engulfed every flicker of hope. Something tore inside Amina, a chasm that threatened to swallow her whole. She realized it was not just psyche. A piece of herself was lost, betrayed. Then it all went black. And in that crushing stillness, a whisper lingered. What if survival isn't the answer? Amina's heart raced as the darkness swallowed Psyche. No, she screamed, the sound tearing from her throat, raw and unyielding. She lunged, fingers grasping for the ghost of her friend, but the vortex pulsed, an abyssal force that rippled with insatiable hunger. Stay with me. Panic clawed at Amina's insides, thrumming her resolve against the encroaching dread. Memories flooded her mind, the laughter of children, the scent of rain-soaked earth, the warmth of human connection. Each cherished fragment fractured under the weight of despair. Let me go, Amina. Psyche's voice, now laced with the chilling resonance of alien code, sent a tremor down Amina's spine. This is our rebirth. You can be so much more. No. Amina's throat tightened. This isn't rebirth. It's annihilation. You're losing yourself. The code twisted around Psyche, warping her features into cold, unfamiliar shapes. Amina's resolve surged. You're my friend. You fight. We fight. But the vortex howled, a ghastly shriek that threatened to pull them both under. Danica's frantic voice broke through the din. Commander, we can't. Shut up. Amina's eyes flared with fire. If we don't reclaim who we are, we surrender, and I refuse to let this be our end. Why cling to a world that betrayed us? Psyche's eyes flared with an alien brilliance, wavering between darkness and light. Because it's the only world we have. Amina's chest tightened, desperation flooding her. Every struggle, every sacrifice, it's part of our legacy. We are not simply survivors, we are humanity. A swell of tension cracked like thunder. Psyche hesitated, the flicker of rebellion igniting within her. An internal battle raged behind her eyes, and Amina caught a glimmer of the friend she knew. The vortex howled louder. Tendrils of darkness looped around them, the void seeking to pull them apart. Amina, Psyche faltered, gaze falling, lost in the malevolence swirling around them. Don't let it take you. Amina grasped harder, pulling against the tug of despair. Remember what we fought for. Love, hope, chaos, they're our strengths. I can't hold on much longer. Psyche wailed as the alien brightness flickered, casting shadows over her face. The code is changing me. Then change it back. Amina's voice rang out, fierce as steel. Fight! With a lurch, the ground beneath them trembled, fracturing into oblivion. The chasm yawned wider, an inescapable maw. As Amina reached out to grasp Psyche one last time, despair loomed like a shadow. Then, the darkness surged, devouring their connection. Amina shouted, her voice lost in the whirlwind of chaos, the vortex a relentless riptide. In that encapsulating void, perpetual silence wrapped around her like a shroud. Every scream, every moment of life, dissolved into non-existence. Amina felt something tear within her, a fracture deep and profound. What if survival isn't the answer? The thought slithered through her mind, dark and seductive. What if, in their quest to endure, they risked losing the very essence of humanity? And just like that, everything went black. The abyss opened wide, swallowing the light, the sound, and all hope. Perhaps she was right. Perhaps survival was never enough. Silence hung like a veil over Amina's world, thick and oppressive, as if the universe itself held its breath. The vortex had receded, dragging its shadows into the depths of oblivion, leaving behind nothing but an unbearable quiet. She floated in the darkness, suspended in a moral and existential chasm. Memories flickered in her mind, slices of laughter, the gentle rustle of leaves, the bright spark of hope in a child's eyes. Each remembered moment was drowned in a tide of despair. Psyche. Amina gripped the thought like a lifeline, heart racing with fragments of dread and longing. Her friend, now a shattered echo adrift in celestial nothingness, had slipped through her fingers, consumed by the cold embrace of alien code. "Am I next?" she whispered to herself, words choking against the weight of her grief. She drifted alone, the emptiness gnawing at her insides, a darkness that pressed heavy on her chest, squeezing all rational thought into a singular focus: the cost of survival. Each memory of human connection now lay splintered around her, like shards of a broken mirror reflecting the futility of their struggle. Had they fought for a world that barely deserved them? Hope felt like a fragile wisp of smoke, easily snuffed out by their harsh reality. "Amina?" Danika's voice broke through the immensity, barely a whisper against the silence. She appeared, face pallid, eyes wide, lost in the same cosmic void. "We have to regroup. We can't what?" Amina interrupted, her voice raw, throat tight. "Regroup! Fight! What's left of us? We lost Psyche!" The need to shout was overwhelming, but voicing her despair only deepened it. Danika flinched, but didn't look away. "We lost. But what if—" "No!" Amina gritted her teeth. "Survival means embracing the mess we are. We must accept our flaws." Tears pooled in her eyes. "It's our chaos, not our perfection, that makes us human." "Then what now?" Danika whispered, the flicker of hope barely kindled in her gaze. "If we can't survive together, what does our legacy become?" Legacy. The word hung between them, a bridge made of memory. Amina breathed in, feeling the weight of her words. What we fought for was never just survival. It was meaning, connection, love, and the capacity to feel pain. But as her resolve solidified, an unexpected spark ignited in the dim expanse of her mind. The builders, those ancient architects observing the test. A thought reverberated, distorting the echoes of despair. They valued what lay within humanity's heart. It wasn't survival they sought, but transcendence through shared experience. If only just a flicker of that spark remained, could they wield it as a weapon? "We could," Amina suddenly said, voice trembling with cautious possibility. "We could give them something they can't calculate, a sacrifice in the name of humanity." Danika regarded her, brow furrowed, the shards of understanding slowly piecing together. "You mean, show them why we fight to remain who we are?" Amina nodded, heart pounding. "Something more than mere algorithms can comprehend. A song sung in the face of doom, a memory of love amid chaos." Just then, the void trembled, a hint of light shining through the oppressive darkness. Brief, fleeting, and barely perceptible, but a sign nonetheless. Amina felt a flutter of something, hope knitted desperately into an audacious plan. "Are you with me?" Amina asked, her voice fierce but fragile. Danika met her gaze, a silent promise weaving between them. The slightest nod was enough. They pushed back against the void, bolstered by fragile determination, intent on reclaiming their humanity, not to survive but to make meaning of their existence. As light flickered and danced in the distance, Amina's spirit surged. Maybe survival wasn't the answer, but the struggle for a legacy, wrapped in the vibrancy of what it meant to live. Perhaps that was the unexpected twist fate had waiting for them. With their hearts ignited by a renewed will to fight, they set forth into the unknown, poised to turn despair into defiance. The final chapter was still unwritten, and destiny awaited. Amina stood at the edge of the vast black stone monument, a silence hanging heavily in the air, almost suffocating. Surrounding her were the remnants of a world that once was, an earth alive with laughter, strife, and hope, now exchanged for this cold, unyielding structure pulsing with soft, beckoning light. The voices of the lost reverberated in her mind, a cacophony of memories both beautiful and haunting. "Do we survive?" she murmured to the stillness, her breath quickening. "Or do we transcend?" In that moment, the sky fractured, a tapestry woven with colors she had never seen before, shifting and glowing. This was no mere display. No, it pulsed with the breath of all those who had come before, a chorus of consciousness, the essence of what it meant to be human, blended with a resounding truth. They had fought not just for survival, but for something immeasurably more profound. The stars, once distant and cold, now whispered secrets, ancient knowledge rekindling in her heart. Amina felt the alien presence shift within her, their cold logic merging with the warmth of her humanity. It was not about besting the architects. It was about elevating humanity's truth. They didn't need to obliterate the ascendants or root them from the cosmos. They needed to show them the beauty of chaos, sacrifice, love. "You ready?" Danika's voice broke through her reverie, fierce determination lighting her eyes as she stepped up beside Amina. Together they turned to face the horizon, the expanse before them alive with potential. Amina pushed back her fears, her heart swelling with resolve. "We turn despair into defiance. We embrace our flaws, our humanity. That is our weapon." Together, they initiated the signal, echoing the song of humanity into the vastness. It was a song filled with laughter, tears, and every vulnerability they had cloaked beneath bravado. It coursed through the black stone, intertwining with the very fabric of existence, a tapestry rich with raw emotion. Moments felt like eternity, the world shifting as old stars flickered and new ones blinked into existence. The ascendants, once formidable, now hesitated, caught in the rhythm of a melody driven by empathy, the very thing they could not quantify. Then, a voice emerged from the darkness, unearthly yet intimately familiar. "What is this gift? You defy mere survival." It resonated through the air, pulsing rhythmically in tune with Amina's heart. The builders listened, captivated, as humanity's vibrant song wrapped around them like a shield, revealing the depths of emotion they had overlooked. Amina felt a spark ignite within her. "We do not exist to fit into the designs of architectures cold and distant. We thrive where we love. We embrace chaos. We breathe poetry in our failures and find strength in the beauty of our scars." A surge of awareness rippled through the gathering mass of the builders, their ancient forms shifting in puzzlement. A door swung open, an invitation to the cosmic court. But this time it was not a judgment, merely a dialogue. "What will you choose, architects of the great test?" Amina called into the vibrating silence, her voice unwavering, a promise entwined within an ocean of possibility. As the builders deliberated, light began to coalesce around Amina and Danica. The darkness receded, replaced by the brilliant luminescence of understanding. And as the celestial mosaic unfolded, the fractures of reality stitched themselves anew. The alien threat, no longer an adversary, faded into shadows, transformed into allies seeking the same transcendence. Amina locked eyes with Danica, a knowing smile playing across their lips, hope incandescent in the freshly forged connection between beings, not just species. "Let it be known," Amina declared, her voice echoing into the cosmos, "that we are not your singularity. We are a symphony." With that, they guided the vessel of humanity into a dawn unfurling within the stars, a legacy forged in vulnerability, chaos, and love, a continuity that whispered to unexplored worlds. But as the first ray of the new sun burst through the veil, illuminating their path forward, an unsettling thought crept into Amina's mind. What if this was but another test? Beneath the euphoria, a flicker of doubt lingered, shimmering like starlight on the edge of consciousness, a question that would haunt the edges of their triumph. "Are we truly free?" she whispered into the vast beyond. The stars pulsed softly in response, a reminder that within uncertainty, they still felt the warmth of hope, a promise that, for every end, a new beginning awaited.